Prince Harry found himself in the eye of a media storm once again, and this time the unexpected source of his humiliation was none other than Jamie Dornan on the Graham Norton Show. The Irish actor, known for his charismatic screen presence and sharp wit, did not hold back as he dissected the Duke of Sussex's public persona with mixture humor and piercing critique. In front of a live audience and millions of viewers worldwide, Dornan delivered remarks that left Harry visibly flustered and sparked a new round of controversy around his public image. What was intended to be a lighthearted interview turned into a full-blown PR disaster, highlighting the growing tension between Harry's carefully curated image and the unforgiving lens of celebrity scrutiny. Dornan's commentary, while wrapped in charm and comedy, struck at the very core of Harry's credibility. He referenced Harry's memoir anecdotes, poked fun at his self-styled role as a modern royal rebel, and subtly questioned the authenticity of his public persona. The audience erupted in laughter, a reaction that immediately trended on social media, fueling a wave of articles, tweets, and commentary dissecting every word. Harry, who has long sought to control narratives about his life and legacy, suddenly found himself powerless as Dornan's words carried a weight that neither PR teams nor spin doctors could counter. For the Duke, it was a moment of profound vulnerability. For the public, it was a revelation that the royal outsider was far more fallible than previously portrayed. In the days following the broadcast, Harry's inner circle reportedly scrambled to contain the fallout. Sources within the Sussex camp revealed that the Duke was incensed, feeling that Dornan's jabs undermined years of careful branding. Public relations experts began advising restraint, warning that any retaliatory moves would only deepen perception of fragility and defensiveness. Despite these warnings, insiders noted that Harry privately vented to close friends, expressing a mix of anger, disbelief, and frustration that a Hollywood actor could so effortlessly expose his inconsistencies on a widely watched platform. The controversy also reignited debates about his role in the royal family, the sincerity of his independence from royal expectations, and whether his public battles were now overshadowing charitable efforts and personal initiatives. As analysts dissected the Graham Norton episode, several key themes emerged. Dornan's critique highlighted the contrast between Harry's self-image as a progressive, liberated royal and perception of him as a figure prone to defensiveness and melodrama. Social media erupted with commentary ranging from outright mockery to nuanced discussions about the pressures of living in the public eye. British tabloids, eager for a new angle, portrayed Harry as a prince undone by Hollywood wit, while American outlets emphasized the cultural clash between his royal upbringing and the unforgiving nature of celebrity culture. The episode demonstrated how even minor missteps or unguarded moments could be magnified, reminding both Harry and Meghan that their carefully constructed narrative is constantly under siege. Meanwhile, Dornan's performance was widely praised in entertainment circles. Commentators noted his ability to blend humor with incisive critique, turning a lighthearted interview into a defining media moment. Unlike typical celebrity roasts or gossip segments, Dornan's commentary carried credibility, drawing on both observational humor and a keen understanding of public sentiment surrounding the Sussexes. For Harry, this combination of charm and critique made the humiliation all the more difficult to absorb, as it exposed vulnerabilities without resorting to outright cruelty. Public reactions reflected a mixture of amusement, schadenfreude, and growing skepticism about Harry's authenticity. The impact of this appearance extended beyond immediate media coverage. Sponsors, brand partners, and collaborators who had been courting the Sussexes reportedly reconsidered their engagements, concerned that association with Harry's controversial public persona could introduce reputational risk. Within the monarchy, whispers surfaced about the prudence of public commentary and whether such exposures might further strain relationships with key institutions. While Harry had sought autonomy from royal oversight, Dornan's remarks illuminated the fragile nature of independence when juxtaposed with the relentless scrutiny of media, audience perception, and celebrity commentary. Inside Montecito, the fallout reportedly created tension between Harry and Meghan. While the Duchess often supports her husband in public disputes, insiders suggested she cautioned against overreaction, emphasizing the dangers of appearing overly defensive. Harry, however, was said to feel personally affronted, interpreting Dornan's words as a direct attack not only on him but on the entire Sussex brand. Discussions about legal responses and media countermeasures were reportedly explored, but ultimately dismissed as potentially exacerbating the public spectacle. Friends close to the couple characterized Harry's emotional state as a mixture of humiliation and disbelief, noting that the episode forced him to confront how little control he truly has over public perception despite years of careful planning. As weeks passed, the Graham Norton appearance remained a trending topic, with analysts framing it as a cautionary tale for public figures navigating the intersection of celebrity, media, and royalty. Dornan's measured but pointed critique demonstrated that a single, well-timed media appearance could eclipse months of strategic image management. For Harry, it was a stark reminder that celebrity culture is unforgiving, that audience sentiment can shift rapidly, and that public life offers no sanctuary from wit, satire, and scrutiny. The broader implications were clear. Harry's efforts to forge an independent identity outside traditional royal structures were increasingly challenged by the harsh realities of fame and public exposure. The Dornan episode underscored the difficulty of balancing authenticity with public expectation, highlighting the tension between personal agency and external perception. In the months following the interview, commentators continued to reference the moment as a defining instance of vulnerability, marking a turning point in how Harry is perceived both in the UK and abroad. Ultimately, Jamie Dornan's appearance on the Graham Norton Show became more than just a comedic segment. It evolved into a cultural event that reshaped public discourse surrounding Prince Harry. His remarks, laced with humor and insight, punctured the veneer of control that the Duke had painstakingly constructed, revealing the precariousness of life as a modern royal navigating media scrutiny. For Harry, the episode was a lesson in humility and exposure, illustrating that no amount of branding or narrative crafting could fully shield him from the sharp, unflinching lens of popular culture. The aftermath of Jamie Dornan's incisive remarks did not subside quickly. Media outlets around the world dissected every nuance of the episode, replaying the clips and analyzing Harry's body language as he attempted to maintain composure. Social media platforms became a battleground of opinions, with Twitter threads and TikTok clips circulating that highlighted the Duke's discomfort and Dornan's sharp delivery. Memes exploded, some cruelly exaggerating Harry's reactions, while others simply celebrated Dornan's unflinching humor. The combined effect was a global amplification of Harry's perceived vulnerability, turning what might have been a brief media blip into a sustained public conversation. Public relations experts began weighing in, noting that Harry's brand management strategies were suddenly under a microscope. For years, the Sussexes had relied on carefully choreographed media appearances, selective interviews, and controlled messaging to shape their narrative. Yet Dornan's offhand remarks demonstrated the limits of that strategy. A single live broadcast, executed with charisma and wit, could undo months of careful image crafting. Analysts highlighted that the Duke's attempts to be seen as relatable, modern, and media-savvy were now at odds with his reactions under pressure, creating a dissonance that critics were quick to exploit. Within Hollywood circles, the incident sparked both sympathy and criticism. Some A-list figures expressed quiet support for Harry, acknowledging the relentless pressures of public scrutiny and the unique challenges of being a royal outsider. Others, however, treated the situation as a cautionary tale, noting that Harry had positioned himself as a public figure unafraid of criticism, yet reacted viscerally when confronted with the sharp humor of a respected peer. Sources indicated that the episode contributed to a growing perception among industry insiders that the Duke and Duchess were increasingly difficult to navigate, particularly for projects requiring media collaboration or high-stakes public appearances. In the United Kingdom, tabloids gleefully seized upon the episode. Newspapers ran front-page headlines emphasizing Harry's discomfort and Dornan's pointed commentary. British columnists framed the segment as a dramatic reversal of fortunes. The royal outsider, who had often criticized media intrusion, was now the target of a controlled, calculated, and cleverly executed critique. The narrative constructed by Dornan and amplified by the press painted Harry as a man caught between two worlds, the royal institution he left behind and the Hollywood celebrity sphere he now inhabited, neither of which fully accepted him. The Montecito residence, often portrayed as a sanctuary from public scrutiny, became a pressure cooker in the days following the broadcast. Friends close to the Sussexes reported that Harry was frustrated and simmering, grappling with a sense of public humiliation that he felt was undeserved. Meghan Markle, meanwhile, was reportedly attempting to temper the Duke's impulses, urging caution and reminding him that any aggressive response could magnify the situation. Sources suggested that Harry explored legal options, floated the idea of public statements, and debated potential media counter-narratives, all ultimately abandoned because of concerns they would backfire and extend the media cycle rather than contain it. Meanwhile, entertainment commentators and comedians dissected Dornan's approach, praising his ability to combine humor with incisive commentary. Unlike standard celebrity roasts or tabloid digs, Dornan's critique was seen as legitimate and pointed, carrying cultural weight because it addressed not just Harry's personal foibles, but the broader disconnect between the Duke's self-image and public perception. Each joke, each quip reverberated across social media, late-night shows, and talk radio, reinforcing the notion that Harry's carefully constructed persona was, in fact, vulnerable to exposure by anyone willing to engage with it intelligently. The longer-term impact on Harry's public image began to crystallize. Whereas previously the Duke was seen by some as a sympathetic figure challenging the constraints of royal life, the Dornan incident underscored a growing perception of fragility, defensiveness, and overreaction. Marketing and branding experts noted that this perception could influence everything from media deals to partnerships, charitable initiatives, and public appearances. Even Invictus Games insiders reportedly expressed concern that such incidents overshadowed the positive work Harry had achieved, shifting the focus from service and advocacy to personal drama. From a cultural standpoint, the episode illustrated the stark differences between American and British media ecosystems. In the U.S., the segment was celebrated as prime-time entertainment, with audiences laughing at Harry's discomfort while praising Dornan's wit. In the UK, the coverage leaned more heavily on scrutiny, exploring questions of accountability, authenticity, and public responsibility. This transatlantic divide compounded the sense of pressure on Harry, as he was forced to navigate competing narratives and expectations, neither of which fully aligned with his intentions or desired image.